Welcome back to Just Stay Focused. If you're new here, welcome for the first time. Enjoy the background. It looks that way for a reason. So, in this video, I want to kind of follow up on the last video I made, and it's going to be similar in title and similar in theme, but there's some very important differences which make these two just kind of methods completely different from each other. So, the last time I said the fastest way to get to $100,000. If your goal is to get 100K, you need funding for your business or funding for your dream, your idea, whatever you're trying to achieve. Cool, go watch that video. This is the easiest way to get 100 grand. It's similar, but not exactly the same because that play involves some setup that this play does not involve. So pay attention to this video, watch to the end because I'm going to put you on some real good sauce and some good information that'll really help you. But like and subscribe if you haven't been here, or like and subscribe if you like the content. Either way you slice it. But anyway, let's get right to it. I want to talk to you about what's the easiest way to get 100K. A lot of us, including myself, were raised and taught money is hard to get, right? You work your ass off. You work a job for 40 hours a week. You make anywhere from 15, 20, 25 an hour. I'm in California, so that's how I see it. Some people make less than that, but you're working all this time, and you end up with 30, 40, 50, 60, 70K a year. Damn. How much of that is going to go to bills? How much of that is going to go to expenses? How much of that is going to go to family, whatever you have going on, right? This is how you get $100,000. If you're really saucy, savvy, and set up already, if you're in a good position, you can do this in a day. But that's not most people. Most people, I would say, take 3 to 6 months. It shouldn't take longer than that as long as you're not in a bad position. If you're in a bad position, it'll take a little longer. But if you're in a decent to good position, you can do this in 3 months, do it in 6 months. But anyway, how do you do it? How do you get this $100,000 mythically that I'm just speaking about without telling you tangibly? And I'm going to tell you tangibly. I'm getting right to it. But how do you get to this $100,000 super fast, super easily? Well, this goes in, and if you haven't watched my other content, watch all the videos on this YouTube channel. It's just a ton of helpful information. If you got free time, if you're watching Netflix, if you're watching Stranger Things, if you're watching sports, then you have time. Watch this information that's going to get you some fucking money. I'm trying to help you all out. Anyway, how do you do it? So this plays into a video I made before about stacking, credit card stacking. If you know the methods, if you know how to apply for credit cards, if you know how to never get denied for credit cards, if you know these things, then you know that you can stack up your credit card limits. Now, you can't just apply for a credit card today, wait a week, apply for another card, and a week later, apply for another card a week later, blindly, not knowing what you're doing. That's not going to work. You're either going to get denied or your limits are going to get slashed, right? And this is stacking personal credit cards. I will be completely transparent and honest with you. I think it's better I know that it's better to stack business than personal credit cards. It is stacking personal credit cards can bite you in the ass. If you don't know what you're doing, it will bite you in the ass. You stack business credit cards is a lot safer, a lot not easier, it's safer. And it's just a better way to go about it, but stacking personal credit cards doesn't involve any setup. You don't need to own a business. You don't need to have an LLC. You don't need to pay any fines, fees, have any books. You can just be a regular person and do this. You can do this, run up $100,000 in credit cards, but it's going to bite you in the ass because it's debt. But my point in telling you this is, if you know that this money, this 50, 70, 100K, however much you can get, is the only thing holding you back from success, from tripling, quadrupling your money, from getting to millions, then take the risk. Because at the end of the day, this is entrepreneurship. This is, side hustles. This is going in for yourself, right? So you need to take some degree of risk. I'm not saying you need to take this risk, but there is risk you have to take. So if this is a risk you want to take, I'm just giving you the blueprint. So anyway, let's get to it. So basically the long and short of it is you're going to stack these credit cards, and I'm going to tell you what credit cards to stack, why you should stack them, how you should stack them, and I'm going to put you on, a good method to get you this can get you $100,000. It doesn't work for everybody the exact same way, but we'll get to it when we get to it. So anyway, first of all, first card I want to start with, Chase Sapphire Reserve. Chase is, if you build a relationship with Chase, if you don't have a checking account with Chase, you never been into a Chase bank, go into one, build a relationship with them, right? Just go ahead and do that. That's a good start. But this would be one of the cards that you get, right? I would say go for this card. And before we even get to the Chase Sapphire card, I would say start with this card. Capital One Venture X. You don't have to do this the way that I'm telling you to do it. Just do your research. But if it was me and I was to do this to try to get 100K, I would try to get my credit up. I would try to get my credit as great as possible, 750 plus scores, great credit profile, and I would try to get the Venture X card. This card does not. This card is a $10,000 minimum. If you get approved for this card, they're giving you 10 grand or more on it, right? I would do this first because when you get this credit card, they're gonna pull all three of your credit bureau, your credit profiles from Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. They're gonna pull all three. That is very inefficient and it's very annoying. So you want to get that hard pull out of the way and guarantee yourself 10K. This is how I would do it, right? Do that. You can ignore this card altogether and go a different route that we're gonna talk about in the end. But I would start with the Venture X, right? Then I would go to Chase and get the Sapphire Reserve. Chase is going to pull your Experian credit report. There are a couple of specific instances where they have pulled like TransUnion or something, but in my experience, it's usually because your Experian score is not up to par, but your TransUnion is. So if they pull your TransUnion, your overall credit profile looks better, and it kind of helps them approve you. That's the only time I've seen them pull TransUnion. 99 times out of 100, they're pulling Experian. So they're going to pull your Experian. Next card, Bank of America Premium Rewards Elite. This card again, I believe this is the correct card. I'm not sure. There is a Bank of America credit card, and it's one of these. It's a Premium Rewards Elite Travel Rewards. They all look the same to me, so I get them mixed up sometimes. But anyway, that's another card that's typically $10,000 or more. I think the minimum it can be is like $7,000, but it's typically 10 grand or more. Another good pool, assuming you get both of those, 10K each. Then we got one key plus credit card. So we have the standard one key card, right? This one here, the standard one key card, and the one key plus card. So the one key card here, and then the one key plus. I know personally, and I've seen personally, the one key plus card, if you got good income, they will approve you for 10 grand or more. Without any proof, without any documentation. I will never say lie on a credit card application. That's fraud. Don't do that. But if you put on your application that you're making 80K a year, they will give you a 10K limit on this one key plus card, and they will not ask you for any proof, not ask you for any documentation or information. I'm just putting the information out there. I'm just telling you what I saw. I'm just telling you what I know. Actually, I ain't just seen it. I've confirmed it. Then we have. There's one more Visa Infinite card that I want to talk about, but I couldn't pull it up, so I don't have it. The other Visa Infinite card I want to talk about is the City National. Matter of fact, I might be able to pull that up. City National Visa Infinite card. City National Bank. Crystal Visa Infinite card. Now, here's a little nugget of information that'll bode you well. If you ever see Visa Infinite and you can get a credit card that's a Visa Infinite card, those cards are $10,000 or more. Just like how some of these cards say Visa Signature. If it's Visa Signature, it might be a metal card. It's probably $1,000 or more. Usually a few thousand, but sometimes they can go lower. It just depends on how they feel. If it's a Visa Infinite card, it will be 10K or more. I've never heard of an instance of a Visa Infinite card being less than $10,000. So just good information to keep in mind. Anyway, that's another card that will also pull your Experian. Now, if you're paying attention, that is 4 Experian cards that should all give you 10 grand each. If you do that correctly, you'll get $40,000 from those Experian cards. How do you get all these Experian cards at the same time? Well, one, learn how to apply for credit cards. Watch my video about that. But the long and short of it is you apply for them all at the same time. They all only pull your Experian credit bureau. And if you did what I said and got the Venture X card to start this, congratulations, you just got $50,000 in credit cards all at once, like within 3 months. Because if you started with the Venture X, and if you didn't, you just did these 4, you're at 40 grand. Congrats. Now I move on to TransUnion. We have Navy Federal. This is a credit union, Navy Federal Flagship Rewards. We could say this will give you 10 grand, but this will easily give you 10. This will easily give you 15, honestly. This card, if you get this Visa, it says Visa Signature, not Infinite, but it's Navy Federal. If you're not a Navy Federal, get a Navy Federal. Find somebody with an access code or call them. Use the grandpa method. If you don't know what that is, look it up. Get into Navy Federal. Yes, you can. If you weren't in the military, yes, you can. I have a Navy Federal account. That's all I'm going to say. But this Visa Signature card, Navy Federal, they're giving people 15, 20K limits very, very easily. I'm going to say this will get you 15. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to put that out there. Then we got Walmart OnePay credit card. Well, this is the store card, but the OnePay MasterCard right here. This card is approving for near 10K. I'll put this card at 8,000. Let's say this Walmart one pay card will get you to 8,000. You can pre-approve for it as well. It is a Walmart credit card, but it's a credit card, not the spin card, the one with the MasterCard logo. If you ever see a Visa or MasterCard logo on a card, that means you can use it anywhere. Don't do, oh, that's a Walmart card. I can use that at Denny's. I can use it at Saks Fifth. I can use it at Zoomies. I can use it at Amazon. I can use it anywhere. If it has a Visa or MasterCard on it, it doesn't matter who owns the card, who underwrites it, who processes it. Another card that I want to say you should get before you start all this is the Apple card. And I saved it for this section because the Apple card is also a TransUnion card. It pulls TransUnion. As of right now, the Apple card is underwritten by Goldman Sachs. It is being taken over by Chase. So they're in the process. Over the next 2 years, Chase is going to take over the Apple card, but they don't have it yet. Goldman Sachs has the Apple card. They're the underwriters. As it stands right now, you can get the Apple card. And they're going to give you a couple. I've seen them usually give around 2K, but they can give 5,000, 10,000. But let's say Walmart gives you 8, Apple gives you 2. That's 10, right? You can also get the Apple card with no inquiry. I mentioned that a bunch of times. I'm not going to go over it again. There's a bunch of other YouTube videos about it. You should get the Apple card with no hard inquiry. You should have that in the. You can get that. You get the Venture X, wait, and then right as you're starting this, get the Apple card, then get all the rest. What is that? 25 from TransUnion. Like we're rolling here. We're getting you some cards here. Another card that I didn't have pulled up. Is the World of Westgate MasterCard. This card is underwritten by, I forget it's like First National Bank or something. It's ran through Imprint. But this card is also approved for around $10,000 very, very easily. You can pre-approve for this with no impact to your credit score. Look, no impact to your credit score. See if you're approved. There are a lot of these cards. And honestly, nah, I'm not going to do that. This video is too long as it is. But, yeah, this video is pre-approving and approving people for up to 10K, and you can pre-qualify, see what you would get for it. So if we do that, if we get 10 from them, 15 from Navy Federal, and then we get 10 from Apple and Walmart, that's 20, that's 35K right there, plus the 40K from Experian, that's 75K, plus the 10K from Venture X, you're at $85,000. We're almost there. Now what we got? Langley Federal Credit Union. Anybody can join Langley Federal Credit Union, no matter where you are. They got this Visa signature card. They'll approve you for 5K for sure. You got some good income. Look, credit score 640 plus. 0 annual fees. You got good income, good credit. They will approve you for 5K or more. Credit unions tend to be more friendly. Speaking of credit unions, we got one more. PenFed. You go for something like the Pathfinder, Platinum, even Gold maybe, but usually these two, or maybe the Power Cash Rewards, they will give you 10 to 15K on these cards. If you can get it now, here's the nugget, here's the jewel. These last few, right? PenFed, Langley, even Navy Federal. These are credit unions. Navy Federal, you can get it if you have military affiliation or if you have access code, family member, etc., etc., etc. PenFed, Langley's easy to get into, but my point is with these credit unions, you need to join them first. So if you're going to do something like this, even if you're half thinking about it, just join these credit unions. You can look up what you need to do to join them. Join the American Consumer Council, donate $5 to whoever you need to donate it to, whatever it is. Get in these credit unions, have a checking account, just put a little bit of money in it, $20, $50, $20, $50, whatever. Put a little bit of money into it, deposit in it every week, every month. Just make sure you got some money in it, and like over the next 3 months, or if it's longer, whatever, over the next few months, you start building a relationship with them. Just getting an account, putting some money into it, checkings and savings. If you have direct deposit, even better. If you do these things, they will give you even higher limits. They will give you even more money. So I just showed you a bunch of banks and credit cards that if you get all these cards and you get decent limits with them, you will get $100,000 very easily. Very easily. If you don't get 100K, you're getting at least 70. You're probably getting more. But the real trick, the real play to this is to go to credit unions. If you go to credit unions instead of big banks, like yes, it's easier to get approved at Chase, Bank of America. And Bank of America, you got to be careful with them credit card pages if you're going to run this play and apply for all these cards at the same time. Be careful. But if you're going to do this, then it's better to go to credit unions. And credit unions are all over the place, all over the world. There's a bunch of credit unions in your city, wherever you live, in your city. There are credit unions that you do not know. Go in there, walk in there, talk to them, get a bank account, build a relationship with them, become their friend. They'll start approving you for shit. And with credit unions, they don't even always care if you have amazing credit. If you've been banking with them, you got direct deposit, you go there every day, like they know you, you have a relationship with them. When I say a relationship with them, I don't even mean that you're their friend. I mean you have products with them and you've been banking with them for a long time. I've seen people call, they get their phone cut off and they call the phone company and say, oh, you've been with us for 5 years? You know what? We'll cut your phone on. Just make sure you pay us by the end of the month. And it's like the 10th. You know what I mean? Like, they do favors for people who do business with them. So do business with these people, and these credit unions will really, you could get 100K with 3 or 4 credit unions, really, if you're really good at this. But if you're going to go big bank routes, and I wanted to show you through the banks, through Chase, through Capital One, through Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo underwrites the One Key card, because anybody can do that. And that's the thing. And here's the other thing that you need to know. If you do this, if you're going to do this with all these banks, it's like 8, 9, 10 credit cards, and then you get them all. Now you got 100,000 credit. Woo! You got to know how to liquidate the cards. And you got to understand that when you max out these cards, or when you first get them and try to immediately max them out, that's a red flag. They're going to watch out for that. So you got to know how to do it. You're trying to liquidate these cards. If they start seeing that you're maxing out a bunch of cards, then they're going to start lowering your limits and shutting down cards. Once they realize that you've opened 10 cards at a time, they're going to be on you. So I would advise, if you do this, you get all the money off the cards, and then your credit is going to be shot for a while. It's going to ruin, it's going to tank your credit. It just is. But now that you have the funding, your credit doesn't matter anymore. That's the point that I'm trying to get you. I don't recommend this for most people. I don't think this is a great idea for most people. But the point of this channel isn't just to tell you the safe way or the way to get you that I like. It's just to tell you every way that's feasible, realistic, legal, and possible to get you this funding. Because if you're trying to run a business, if you're trying to flip your money, if you're trying to get more and more, you need money. Hey, here's a way to get money. If you have immaculate credit, if you have a great credit score, your credit score is over 700, your credit profile looks great, you can do this. You can apply for all these cards. Trust me that I know this personally. And there's more. I didn't bring up NASA FCU. I didn't bring up NIH. There's a lot of credit unions, a lot of banks. I didn't bring up Apple Federal Credit Union. There's a lot of banks and credit unions that I can talk about. But my point is, you can apply for 4 credit cards at a time. By the time, I'm in the same 5 seconds. Click, 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 click. Do it for all 3 credit bureaus. In theory, you're going to do 12 applications at once if you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? If you do 12 at once and they all give you $10,000, that's $120,000. If you 5 to 60 is something. My point is, I just wanted to show y'all a way to get some money. But this video is getting too long, so let me know what y'all think. Let me know how y'all feel. Please go out there, go get this money, but be safe, be smart with it. Don't try to run up a bunch of credit cards, max them out, have nothing to show for it. Now you're 100K in debt and you're crying and screaming and you know what to do. So again, like I said, I only recommend this for anybody who is like, I'm very confident in what I'm doing, my business. I know that the only thing holding me back from millions or just being way more successful is just having more funding. All right, bro, here's a play for you. If that's not the situation you're in, I wouldn't recommend this, but hey, it's all about getting to the money. So anyway, I appreciate y'all for watching. Like and subscribe. Just stay focused. Enjoy the view. I'll see y'all soon.